Hello, good evening. It's Coach Velia coming to you on day 4 of What to Declutter. I wanted to hang out with you guys a little bit. I know that this month is hectic for a lot of people, emotional. There is just lots to do. Your time is consumed by a whole bunch of stuff. And as I was thinking about what to bring up this evening, I had something in mind, which I will touch on in a little bit. But it was more about hanging out with you guys, spending time with you, and just asking you how you guys are doing. Do you guys have any questions in regards to what we've been talking about? Are you feeling like a lot of reasons for not doing things are coming up? Do you feel like you're procrastinating? Do you feel like everything else is taking your time and you're kind of putting that on the back burner? So I wanted to ask you guys those questions this evening and hang out a little bit longer, probably. And once we do that, I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of things cleared up this evening. So I want to set the intention at this moment while I hang out with you guys. And for that, I got a candle, which is called Take Initiative. So we made this one ourselves, and we have some beautiful crystals in there and some flowers. So I'm going to light this candle as we hang out and literally just help remove any obstacles that are standing in your way that are preventing you from taking initiative. Hello. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to burn this lovely candle. I'm going to light this candle for us because I have a few things I want to share with you guys. And I also think it's important for us to set that time for self-care. I'm here in my jammies. Sundays are my self-care days. I stay in my jammies all day. Sometimes if I want to, if I feel up to it, I visit family, as long as it's not going to wear me out. And other times I just stay home. So I just kind of play it by ear. I don't have like a set schedule for anything. So I wanted to hang out with you guys. I know that most people are dread Sundays because Monday starts and then it's a whole other, oh my gosh, and a whole bunch of talk that takes place. So I want to touch on a few things. So our candle is lit. Yay. So I'm going to go ahead and when we created these candles, we had already set the energy to create the things of vibration we wanted to actually put out to make sure that when you guys light it, it was already charged for you to take advantage of. And it just turned off on me, so I'll try it again. Again, self-care is kind of broad. People think it could be getting your nails done. It could be taking a long bath. That's all fine and dandy. But I find a lot of people say, I don't have time for self-care. So I'm going to talk about self-preservation. How does that sound? So the time that you do have, even if you can do 10,000 things for self-care, like bath and nails and all that fun stuff, let's just talk about preserving what you have. Because the whole reason why I started this little series is because people are so busy right now doing things for everybody else. Or the things that you have to do, like work, family, meals, running around, gifts, planning for the holidays, all that good stuff. So I'm going to ask you to preserve your energy for the things that are really, really important for you. And yes, I know that family is important and your kids, all that good stuff, whatever. But I want you to think more about what you need to do for self-preservation. And a lot of you have already been getting that message coming through. So I'm setting the intention that we're going to start taking initiative on the things that we're being called to do and to remove any obstacles that may be coming your way. Not to say they're not valid, but I want to make sure that we expand the time and we're more intentional about what we're deciding to do so that the energy opens up for us to receive those things. I also wanted to touch on a couple things. When I mention getting rid of the old to receive the new, it doesn't necessarily mean stuff. So I don't want you to clear cabinets and hallway closets and all that stuff to go buy more stuff, right? That's not the idea. But the reason why I share it that way is because once you see everything organized, the feeling you receive from it becomes more of gratitude and you open up space to receive. Many people, once they declutter, crazy as it sounds, they start receiving like new jobs, new relationships, just new opportunities overall. Because that feeling that you have helps you manifest better things in your life, the things that are more aligned with what you want instead of just kind of receiving whatever's been given to you. And I'm going to have a series on manifestation as well, probably starting in January, because I kind of like these little clips. Also going to be starting a podcast next month. Just kind of getting everything situated. We're going to have like a Dear Coach series where you guys can write in, ask questions. You'll be anonymous. You can write some letters and then we'll go from there to kind of help you help guide you to maybe making more positive choices, building better habits, because that's super important. So again, take inventory of what you're spending your time on. I talk a lot about, the empath ability to like want to help people and feel everybody's pain. That's all fine and dandy. But when you want to help people, many times we are Tylenol. We're not really helping people. We're just taking things off of their plate and putting them onto our plate. And then we don't know what to do with the plate. Most of us just eat everything on it and try to help everybody out and say, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I wonder why. So this is why I decided to start the decluttering series, because if you're busy taking care of you and cleaning your house, the energy is for you, not out there scattered helping everybody else, because we have no control of that outcome. When we go help other people, they do whatever they want with our help. But if you help yourself, if you spend time doing things for you, guess who benefits from that? Because we're the ones that want to take that initiative. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you guys have questions as they go along. Thank you guys for being here on a beautiful Sunday late night. That's another thing. So I am what is considered nocturnal. Many of you guys can relate. My day does not start early in the morning. And I remember having to get rid of a lot of belief systems around that, because there's always that thing that, the early bird catches the worm, or in Spanish, el que madruga Dios la ayuda, And I used to feel really bad that I was never that person that could wake up at 5 in the morning and like start my day, before the sun came out, until I understood the way I work, the way I think, the way I learn, and the way I process. So I can be up super late and be fine, but I don't wake up super early in the morning, and that's okay. I've learned to love and embrace the way that I am. I do what I can with the time that I am up, and sometimes I'm up till like 2, 3 in the morning, because a lot of my creativity comes in, downloads, things of that nature. So if you are one of those people that needs to sleep in a little bit more at night and you're more productive at night, that's okay. It's okay. And we can get rid of those belief systems. So our candle is burning lovely. Look at this. Yay. They're so pretty. All right. So we are infused with a bunch of energy, and we're going to just jump on a couple of things. When you are overwhelmed, because some people say, I'm just so overwhelmed, I'm so busy, and I have all these things to do. And you do get some stuff done on your 1,000 things to do list, and you can get 9 out of 10 done, and then you're beating yourself up for the one you don't get done. So that's the kind of stuff I want to touch on, because yes, we have priorities, we have things to do, but many people I hear complain, I'm so busy, I don't have time for myself, whatever. And I'm going to ask you why. Why are you so busy? What are you doing? How is that fueling you to keep going? And is there anything you can do to change that, right? It's about taking inventory of your life. What are your daily habits? What are you doing that's bringing you different results, actually positive results that you want to have in your life? Or what do you keep doing that keeps bringing the same results? So we're going to talk quickly about the brain. The brain only understands old information. It only understands yesterday's stuff. So if you're thinking about yesterday and all it knows is to recycle and repeat whatever yesterday was, that's all you're going to get. So you have to create new habits if you want new things. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? Who here was caught up in, not so positive habits, and then we're mad because we get the same results over and over again. So if you want something different, you have to do something different. It's such a simple concept, but we tend to overcomplicate it. So I do want to challenge and ask you, what are you doing that's making you feel so overwhelmed? See, what I asked you is, what are you doing, not what are you not doing? So what are you doing? Take inventory, sit with yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing on a daily basis? And do I like the way my life is going? If not, can I possibly change it? And the answer to that is yes. You could always change your life, the trajectory in which it's going, and the way you process that. So I promise you there is a way to resolve any of those things if you are not happy. I want to make sure you guys know that. Also, what ends up happening is when we start putting too much energy into other people's problems, gossip, talking about other people, like getting caught up in complaining about our lives, all that good stuff, whatever, you end up getting leftovers, right? I know a lot of people that love helping people, but then they get upset because they were off helping everybody else, clean their house or whatever, and they come home and their house is all raggedy. So that's just the house. Imagine what your energy is like inside. You have nothing left over for you. So again, be more concerned about self-preservation, even though in your mind you might think it's being lazy or I feel guilty or whatever. Work through those emotions. Do something different, right? Create a different habit. If you feel guilty, so you're running around helping everybody, feel guilty, stay home and process that emotion and clean your own house. Wash your own dishes. That's something different, and I promise you that energy circulates differently and your life will start changing. There's actually guides to do that. So I can help you guys with that as well. Now, holding on to things, holding on to old habits, holding on to old things, because what if, or just in case. So today was more about clothing, right? Interior clothing actually was a lot stronger, but clothing in general, we're going to talk about, because what do we do when we open up our drawers? Many times we open up our drawers and there's a whole bunch of clothes there, and we kind of move it away to get to the one underneath. Or you do your laundry, you end up putting the same clothes on over and over again. Who's guilty of doing that, right? So I want you to start with your drawers. Nightstand, your more intimate clothes. Ladies, how many bras do you have in that drawer that you actually need? Or how many of them are actually stuck behind all the other ones that when the other ones are being dried, you're waiting for them to hurry up and be dried because you don't want to wear any of those. But I paid money for it, but they're so cute. But what if, and once in a while, just in case. Okay, let's keep doing that. And you keep looking at that drawer wondering why the energy is being taken up. So I'm going to ask you guys to do that with all your undergarment, ladies and gentlemen. If they're still in good condition, that's great. If they fit, that's great. If they're holy, if they're tight, if they're loose, if you have elastic everywhere, whatever it is, take a look at those drawers and make the conscious effort to remove the things that are no longer serving you. Because you guys, it's right now we're talking about material things, but let me tell you, sometimes we settle for the way people treat us. We settle for the time that we think we have, or we're running around, we're running like we don't have time. We settle. It's the same thing when you look at the things. Why are you settling for things that don't fit? Why are you settling for things that are uncomfortable, right? So think about clothing. And I'm like, clothing's coming in, but then everything else is about, how we work for other people, do for other people. It's the same thing with clothes. Like, this shirt's so cute, but it's too high, or it's irregular. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And we just kind of conform. We conform to how people want to treat us. And we can sit there and say they're so mean, they're so whatever. And the question is, why do you keep letting them do that to you? Right? That's the question we all have to ask ourselves. Like, it doesn't mean you have to go 180 and be a total jerk or whatever. But if somebody treats us a certain way and they keep doing it over again, one, why do we keep getting surprised? And two, why are we allowing it? Because we have complete control over how people treat us. You guys need to really understand that, because that was a life changer for me. I love people, but then I became very bitter because I would do too much. And I didn't do things to expect in return, but I found that when people did not reciprocate, or they would talk about me or whatever happened, and then my house was dirty and not theirs, I sat there and I would just cry and cry and cry. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it freaking started dawning on me that I was the reason why all that took place. And they also had the power to change that. So I really want to make sure that you guys understand that today. And it might take a little bit longer because people's processors, emotions, and times are all different. But I'm planting seeds today. That's my intention, to plant those seeds. If you're not happy at work, start figuring out what you want to do, right? I would love for everybody to work in something they're passionate about. And I really strongly believe that people can. It's about consistency. It's about choices. It's about habits. So if you're not changing what you're doing on a daily basis, please stop expecting things to be different. It's hard enough to change when we want to change. And if we're expecting people to change that are not even thinking about changing, what kind of sense does that make? Right? So take initiative, do what you have to do, start setting intentions to live the life that you want to live. Do you even know what that life looks like? Do you know what has to be removed for you to step into that life? Maybe we have to remove complaining. Maybe we have to remove, going to a job and putting all our energy in there when we don't even want to be there anymore. Maybe it's about relationships. I have to go visit my parents, and oh my gosh, and my sisters and my brothers and my cousin, especially right now with, the holiday season. I had a lot of clients that have done so much healing. And then in Thanksgiving, they're like, man, I thought I was going to be okay, but I was still triggered. And I thought, that's okay. You're human. But what can you do? Because it's not that person's problem. You have to ask yourself, why did that trigger me? And what do I need to heal up around that? So I'm kind of, I'm not mean, but I'm like, you're so mean, coach. And I'm like, no, because we have complete control over that. Nobody has taught us that, but it is. So if somebody triggers me, they're my mirror. What about that? Is in me that I still have to heal up? And that's kind of a tough question to ask, but I promise you that's the one that changes your life. And when you start changing the things you do, the expectations you have around people, you stop investing your time and energy, words, thoughts, and feelings into things that don't pour into you and create a better life, then you're not going to ever get anywhere, because you are the only one who has control over your life. And I know that everybody has experienced things, there's trauma, I get it. And even though all that stuff was not your fault, it is 100% your responsibility to heal it up, to see that life that's on the other side of the excuses, of the blaming, of the continued trauma, because there's ways to heal all that stuff up. But it's about when you're ready to take on initiative and to take care of you the way you're meant to be taken care of. So I hope that resonates with some of you. Daily habits keep coming in, conforming to the things that we have, don't have. Think about your drawers. I mean, the closet we're going to tackle again, because that is something else, a whole other set of symbolisms that I want to talk to you about. But when you look at interior clothing, that's what came in, is what's inside of you. Do you have the things that you need, right? Do you find yourself wanting something different, something better, something more comfortable? Take initiative, because clothing actually represents all those things, strange as it sounds, right? If you bought it, if somebody gave it to you, if you spend money, same thing we talked about yesterday. Thank you, it served its purpose. You bought a dress, you wore it once, thank you. That's what I wore it for. Gift it, donate it, sell it, do whatever you have to do. Get it out of your energy field so you can welcome in new things that are coming in. A lot of people are going to be receiving new relationships. If you've been in bad relationships and a new one comes along, you don't even know how to act. So start getting rid of those things while you're working on understanding what you deserve, while you're working on understanding what it is you even want with your life. I've shared with people that when I meet my clients, I share something like, hey, pretend I'm your fairy godmother. If you can have any life that you want, what would that look like? And most people have no clue what it is. They'll complain about stuff, but don't know what they really want, what really makes them happy. And so some people say, I just want to be happy. I say, okay, what does that look like? And people break down. Everybody cries. I cried when I would ask myself those questions because we have no clue. So is it not your responsibility to figure out what it is that makes you happy? And why do we keep expecting other people to figure it out for us? Why do we keep expecting them to be the ones to make us happy? That's not their job. That's our job. So all this talk has something to do with something that's going on with those people who are listening. And it's something that I was called to share. I wanted to spend a little more time with you guys this Sunday evening, late evening, to just kind of prep you for tomorrow, for the days ahead. And be very honest with yourself about the things that you've been blaming or keeping for just in case, whether it be comments, resentments, whatever it is. And tackle those drawers. One drawer at a time. Go and tackle one drawer at a time. You're going to build momentum. And again, don't wait to feel motivated to do things because it doesn't work that way. Start doing what you know you need to do, even if you don't feel like doing it. And I promise you the motivation and the momentum will come afterwards. Stay consistent. Stay focused. Think about the things that really bring you joy and start working towards that. All right, I loved hanging out with you guys this evening. I'm going to burn this candle for some time. And honestly, I'm feeling that there was already some shifting taking place today. And when I set these videos up, I don't just expect the people that are jumping on while I'm live, because I don't announce when I'm going live anymore. I tried that, doesn't work for me. Maybe one day. But for those listening now, for those that are going to listen to it later, I set the intention to align the energy for those people that were ready to hear this message. So I know that whoever needed to hear this, whoever needs to share this, that it will get to the place where it needs to go. So here for you guys. Love you guys. Always here if you have any questions, if you have any recommendations on other things, if you're stuck, please reach out, send a message, and let me know how I can serve you. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Have an awesome week. Set your intentions. Yesterday's gone. Today's almost over. Don't carry on to tomorrow what you don't want to take care of tomorrow, because you're going to recycle the same things as today. So let's leave today in yesterday's issues, problems, whatever, and set your intention for what you want tomorrow to look at, because every day, every moment we decide what we want to step into. It's not by accident, you guys. I promise. Have yourself an amazing night. Thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow.